Good morning. So first, I just want to say that today we are getting above freezing for the first time in 2 weeks. It is supposed to be 35 degrees and sunny. I'm thrilled. I'm excited. We are on the other side of this winter storm, and now we are ready for spring. So I planted this side right here, these Heuchera seeds, January 9th. And these are Palace Purple Select, okay? Now, they germinated at different times, you know. As you can see, I've got some large ones in here, and then I've got some really tiny ones, and I've got some that actually just germinated, like within the last couple of days. So what I need to do is these ones that are larger and that have their first true set of leaves, and, you know, I've got one that's like the size of my thumb, that's leaf. These need to be moved, and I'm gonna move them into plug trays, okay, like this. Each one will have its own little space. That's gonna do a couple things. That's gonna allow the smaller ones to have the light and the space to continue to grow. Also, these are not very deep. As you can see, I've got about 1 inch of soil in here. That's not a lot. These ones that are getting bigger are gonna be needing more space for their roots to grow and develop. So they're gonna get moved. Okay, the other side of this, real quick, is some clematis. I've never grown clematis before. I popped them in here, and then I realized that they really like some cold stratification, and they need months of it to germinate, you know, really well. So I really wasn't expecting much, but you know what? I think I counted like 12 or 13 in here. So that's a pretty good result. I did actually throw some of these seeds outside using the winter sow method. And if you haven't seen my video on winter sowing, check that out. It's the one before this one, and I'll link it up above as well. And that's a method you can do right now to put seeds, get seeds started outside, actually. So I did throw some of the clematis seeds outside. And then these, of course, started to germinate. So as you can see, like with the Heucheras, I have hundreds of, you know, babies here. And I do not need hundreds of babies in my garden, or else I'd have beds full of just Heuchera, which maybe isn't a bad thing. They're beautiful, but a lot of these are destined, hopefully, for new homes. I will be selling some of these as well. But these actually get purple foliage, and you can see some of them are actually starting to color up a little bit. So that's really cool to see. They're really purple, like deep plum, reddish kind of color to them, and I just thought they were really pretty. The seeds are absolutely tiny, and so when I sowed these, I just sprinkled them on the top and pressed them down. I did not cover them with dirt or anything. They did take about 3 weeks to do anything, and they've been fairly slow growers, but like I said, I feel like they're getting pretty crowded and whatnot, and we need to start moving some stuff around. Also, I will say I did fertilize these last Friday, so a week ago, for the first time, in just a water-soluble fertilizer. I diluted it, and really you should start doing that when you get your first set of true leaves on your seedlings, and you should do it weekly. So I did those. I did not do the clematis, so I just, you know, kept it right over here, poured it over them, and I did not do the clematis because they do not have their first set of true leaves yet. So anyway, we'll get started, and I'll show you how I do this, and it's a really easy process. And that's why I like kind of using these trays, because like I said, you can just start a whole bunch, but you do have to separate them out and plant them up a little bit. Next year, I think I'll go with maybe some smaller trays, because like I said, I cut this one in half because I didn't need a whole tray of this in the Heucheras. Even though I do have quite a bit of seed left, I could have done a whole tray, but I didn't need that. And so I did split it. So I think next year I'll look at getting some different sizes of these trays, because these are awesome, but it'd be nice to have some different sizes to choose from as well. Here's a really good tip for this, is to always hold the seedlings by a leaf and not a stem, okay? These guys seriously have really good roots on them. There we go. And pull it out by the leaf and not the stem. And of course I'll go back and fill these in with some dirt here in a little bit. I'm just trying to get out the big ones. And it's a little bit tougher than I thought, actually, because these guys have a lot more root than I was expecting. That one. Okay, so I grabbed out this big clump here. Yeah. And so what I'm gonna do is just kind of break these up gently. There you go. Okay, looks like we have 2 here. So again, I'll just be gentle, kind of get the roots. There we go. There we go. And this one is smaller than I would have just kind of picked out, but that's okay. It will go in there as well. And then these I'll break up and put in there too. All right, guys, that is it for today. And thanks for joining me. And I'm gonna go ahead and start my next project, and we'll see you next time. Bye.